Okay. All right. You want to count us in?
3, 2, 1.
Boom. Welcome to yet another episode of Necro Electric. I am your host, Schonkenstein.
What am I today?
You are the bride of Schonkenstein, as always.
Oh,
Kylie.
okay. All right.
Kylie Skellington. And then we got the fiery Queen of the Kaching, Susana Lopez.
Queen of the Kaching.
Oh, no, it's Gucci.
What's our fucking topic?
Today is life.
Life.
Life. We did death, so life.
That life cereal.
Life.
You ever see it?
Yeah.
All those athletes on there.
The ups and downs of life.
What was that?
Huh?
Wheaties.
What?
Wheaties? I
She's
don't
still
know.
talking about cereal over there.
Sorry. Cereal.
Speaking of
I eat
cereal.
my cereal dry, by the way.
Yeah, she eats it fucking.
Dry.
She's living that kind of life.
That Cheerios, baby.
Yeah, that's weird. You eat Cheerios too?
When I was a kid, I would eat Cheerios, baby, as a snack.
That's fucking weird. I hate Cheerios are disgusting.
Really?
And she
you
like
didn't have
Honey
a
Nut
normal
she
childhood.
she grew up on that shit.
What about Honey Nut Cheerios?
Nah, fuck all that
Like
shit, dude.
any-
Honey Nut
Wheaties,
Cheerios are the
Wheaties,
Any
best.
cereal?
Cheerios, fucking wheat bran.
He'll eat whatever's the sugariest.
I grew up on fucking Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Cocoa Puffs, Cookie
the good
Crisps.
stuff.
Yeah,
The
dude.
stuff Mom had coupons for.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I ate.
That wick.
I remember, because I don't even really eat cereal ever anymore, but I remember like a few years back when we were first dating, we went and got some cereal, and then she like went to go get the Cheerios, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you get, why would you
Why
Why
we're
would you
picking
The
cereal?
regular-
Why would
Buy
you
that?
get Cheerios?
by yourself?
The relationship was
God,
almost
yeah.
over before it
I was just like fucking mind blown. I'm like, why are you buying that shit? You know, she's like, I love this. This is what I grew up on. I'm like, what? Wow, dude. Have you ever had? I was like, have you ever had Cinnamon Toast Crunch? And she was
yeah.
like, no, I never did.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I
you
had
did?
that as a kid.
No, you did. You told me
Yes,
you
I
didn't because
did.
I bought you a box of it, and then from that point on, she just started buying it, and then she just eats it out of the box, like
I just
dry.
eat it. Yeah, I
It's
eat
good.
dry.
It's good like that. It like melts in your mouth. The sugar just goes.
Yeah, shit's fucking bomb, dude.
Moving on.
Let's talk like ups and downs of life.
Oof, many.
All right, let's start on the up.
Yeah.
On the up, huh? Let me think. Well, I mean, obviously having my son, getting married.
Yeah.
Those are all ups. We kind of talked about that stuff before. If you guys follow our Instagram, you'll see Grim on there, our dog.
Oh, it was
Grim
his
Grim.
birthday
Cute little
yesterday.
thing.
Yeah, turned 6.
Little old man.
He's a Min Pin Chihuahua. And actually, the funny story is when I went to get him, because I particularly wanted a Min Pin Chihuahua because A, he looks like a little Doberman, and B, with the Chihuahua breed, he lives a lot longer than most dogs. And I saw this ad on Craigslist, and this old ass couple were like, yeah, meet us in Vallejo. And I was like living in like Livermore or San Jose or something at this time. And I had to drive all the way to fucking Vallejo. And they're like, meet us in this mall parking lot. And I show up, and it's this elderly black couple. And they're in this like white Escalade. And they're a little like timid of me, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I really, and I'm like the nicest dude in the world, you know, for the most part. And
For the most part.
for the most part.
Don't fuck with me, he said.
When it comes to puppies and old people, sure.
Yeah, you know.
And babies.
So I go over there. I got my money, dude. I'm supposed to drop like, you know, whatever on it. And I'm like, yeah, I got my money. Give me my dog. And they're like, oh.
Give me my dog.
And they're like, no. They're like, you gotta go through a few things first.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, what do I gotta do? And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna have you walk about 10 feet away, and we're gonna put him down on the ground, and you have to call him, and he has to go to you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
He's
fuck,
just a
because
puppy.
well, and I'm tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys don't know, I'm 6'4". So small animals tend not to
They tend to run away.
run
not
away from me, you
towards.
know. And I'm
Big
like,
movement.
fuck,
Yeah.
man. Like I drove all this way, you know. And then I kneeled down. I'm like, come here, come on. And then luckily he fucking just darted over to me.
He's like, save me.
Yeah.
Fuck these crazy old people.
And he ran. He fucking darted to me, and I picked him up, and I'm like, whoo. woo. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, well, I'm out. They're like, no. One more
Oh.
thing.
What?
And I'm like, what is
Background
that?
check.
They're like, you got to meet his mom.
What?
And they pull this fucking white chihuahua out of the fucking truck, right? And they're like,
Aw.
she has to sniff your hand. And if she gives you a lick, then that means she likes you. If she snarls
Oh
or
my
growls or
gosh.
anything, then that means she's not feeling it. And unfortunately, we can't do this.
Mama has the last word.
And I'm like, oh my God, dude. So fucking, I'm trying to like crouch down. I have a naturally like low voice. So I'm like, hi, how's it going? You know, I'm trying to be like all fucking as non-aggressive as I can be, you know? And luckily she licked my hand and I got to take him home.
Now we got a puppy boy.
He literally fit in my fucking hand. And then I took him home and she literally didn't let him down. This is like,
Yeah.
it's like a thing with her and her family and babies of any kind. Like once they get a hold of them, they don't put them on the ground.
Oh, that's what
I think I held him for like 3 days straight. His paws didn't even hit the floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
where did he pee and poop? Don't
held
answer
him
that.
out
Moving
Yeah,
on.
just,
Oh,
So that was
man.
definitely an up.
I got
Yeah.
some funny ass animal stories in my family, man. Like moments like that. Like, there was one story though that made me cry, and to this day it breaks my heart. I think I'm gonna cry.
Uh-oh.
This is a down.
This is a
Down
downer.
warning.
This
Down
is
trigger.
a down story. And I blame my mom for this 100%. I don't care. Just like everybody does. But I had a little baby duck, right?
Oh shit.
Okay, I was in elementary.
Did you name him Howard?
No, I didn't get to name him.
Oh.
Let me tell you the story. It was one day. Okay, we were at the flea market. Little duckies. Oh, I want a dog. Just got it. Boom. Yeah. You know, like happy. Like, fuck yeah, I got a little duck. You know, little duck. And then so we go home, and damn, I gotta go to school the next day. So I go to school, and I'm just all day thinking about, I can't wait to go home. You know, I'm thinking about my little duck. And I go home, and I was like, Mom, where's the duck? And she's like, está afuera. You know, I was like, it's outside. Go look for it. I was like, what? It's outside. I instantly knew, oh my God, my baby duck's in danger. Like, there's this stray dog that would always walk around.
no.
It was a mean bitch. And I'm not kidding. She was literally a mean bitch. Like, she really was. And I was like, shit. You know, in my head, in my little baby head, like, oh my God. So I go and I look, and all you see is those little tiny yellow feathers, like a little, a row.
Oh, that's so
And here I go.
sad.
Oh my God. I'm like following the little feathers, right? And then before you know it, it's under the trailer. We used to live in this huge, like, double wide or single wide, I think. Single. And then it was under there was like lamina, which is, those, I don't know how you say it in
like
English.
that like wooden grate kind of shit.
Lattice?
It's
Lattice.
lamina, like what covers the bottom of the.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was one of them was broken out, right? So and there it was, full of ants, just crawling all over him, chewed up, just.
Poor
And
baby.
I'm like 6 or 7, so I'm like, you know, like, and I'm like, oh my God! Like, and then I
Yeah.
run back inside, and I literally remember telling my mom, "You killed my dog!" And she was watching this. She was like, "What? Oh, it was pooping everywhere, and I had to let it outside." And I was like, "Oh, Mom!" Like, I got 2 ducks the same day. Another
Oh,
2
man.
ducks. That was a huge downer.
Rest in peace,
Rest
little
in
ducky.
Little ducky, no name duck.
Died without a name, dude. Fuck. Tragic,
I'm
dude.
sad. Moving on.
All right, ups and downs. Should we go an up or
Yeah,
another
how about
down?
an upper?
Upper.
Yeah, let's.
I have an
yeah.
up and a down. Funny story.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember in high school, I had this buddy named Dave. I'm not going to say his last name just because it's kind of an embarrassing story for him. But I remember we were in class, and this other dude was fucking with him, right?
Bullying.
And Dave had enough, right? And Dave was like, fuck you, I'm going to fuck you up right after school, you know, all this shit, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's standing up for himself, dude. I'm proud of him, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, right outside of school, dude. Let's all meet up. So this other dude's whole crew showed up. We all go out there. We're feeling good. We're feeling tough. Whole crew.
Yeah.
We go out there and we're like, all right, Dave, you can do this, man. We get out there. This motherfucker starts like doing weird stretches. You know, like goofy looking stretches. Starts doing calisthenics.
For the fight?
Yeah. And they're laughing, right? And we're like all trying to be tough and shit.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, dude.
What are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing, man? you know, and he's just like, oh, chill out, like I got this, you know, like fucking yoga
Touching
shit.
his toes.
Yeah, dude, and we're the skater kids, you know,
Yeah,
and fucking,
you're like,
we're like, dude, come the fuck on, man. And then the other guys are laughing, and the guy's like, are we gonna fucking do this or not, you fucker, you know? And Dave's like, all right, I got this, and then he starts like bouncing around like like Bugs Bunny, like
Oh my gosh.
just like all over, right? And we're all like, oh, dude, this is our friend, you know? And we're like, fuck, man, like, oh, this is embarrassing. And then he started bouncing over, and he goes over, and he's just trying to do some wild shit, dude. And then I remember the dude just laid him out in one punch, like just right in the fucking jaw.
No.
Dave just fucking dropped,
Oh,
like
no.
dead,
Damn.
like fucking dead, right? And we're like, oh fuck, man. And then out of nowhere, like came back to like almost like Pulp Fiction, you know what I mean? Like just like came back up,
Fucking adrenaline.
saw everybody, and then got up and sprinted straight home.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we were all
Poor
just
guy.
like, what just
Oh,
happened?
Dave.
We went from like thinking we were cool and tough little crew to
We were like, he's not in our crew anymore,
Yeah.
buddy. I don't know who he is. Dave, who? What?
shout out to Dave,
Oh my
dude.
gosh. Wow.
Oh, shit.
Poor
That's
guy.
funny.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, so that was
Oh,
an up and
man.
downer. What about you, love?
Um,
What would you say is like one of your highlights of life so far?
definitely meeting you.
Yeah.
We already talked about how we met, but
Yeah.
I
mean,
think.
we both kind of were going through some dark times
Oh, yeah.
before we kind of hooked
Yeah.
up. I kind of came out of mine
Yeah.
before her, you know. And
Not that much before me, but
yeah,
we helped each other.
we definitely helped each
So-
other.
We found each other on time.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like that too about Diego. Like, I was going through some shit. He was going through some shit.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, click, we clicked even more, you know?
Yeah, life is definitely like my early life was very chaotic, you know, like growing up in my household, and then
Your whole
my
life was
20s.
chaotic.
now it's kind of sweet, you know.
yeah.
Not to brag, but
should soften up, definitely, as you
Yeah.
get older. As well.
but I believe not really in religion anyway, but I believe in karma.
Yes.
And I believe
definitely.
if you're a good person and you try, you know what I mean, good things happen, you know.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, but I think my family, my life, whatever, definitely as a younger person was super chaotic. You know, all your basic psychological warfare shit, like all of that, just really affected us
Yeah.
in different ways. We're all different. There's like 4 of us, but for me, I think my type of personality, I had like a very addictive personality back then, so I would get into shit and I would really get into
Yeah.
shit, you know, like
Yeah.
that. Like if I was in love, I was really in love. I was mad, I was super mad, and like I think some of that still exists, and I still kind of fight with that shit. But you know, I meditate now. I've been meditating for 5 days straight, and if I don't meditate, I don't think I'd get myself under control. I think Diego would probably be divorced or dead. I don't know.
Dead.
I love him so much, and then like I want him to be buried alive. Like I don't know. It's just you know. Whoop. But we both laugh at that comment because I've told him that in person.
You have.
Yeah, I think we heard
Is he
that
scared
somewhere.
for his life? Goes and hides all the knives.
He's like, well, I feel the same way. I'm like, I don't know. Marriage is fun and crazy at the same time.
Yeah.
All relationships are really.
And so is life in general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember playing a show at this place in San Jose called The Caravan, and there was an old Asian guy, and he used to wear this purple jacket. And
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture.
Yeah, if you go on my Facebook, you can see his picture.
Yeah.
This old fucking guy used to show up all the time to these hardcore shows. He had to be in his 70s,
Cool.
you know, because a lot of Asian people look younger than, or younger
yeah.
than they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy looked old as fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't.
He was definitely
looked
old.
I mean, he was
So
definitely
he
like
had
in
to
his
have been old.
70s. He could have been like 110. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember like I would always get nervous because we would have these mosh pits. Like at the Caravan, we used to pack it and I used to jump and.
And it's a really small space.
It's a small club.
Oh,
Small.
And
okay.
I remember this one dude, like, I jumped on his back and he, like, carried me and, like, body slam me on the pool table because they have this pool table in the middle
shit, yeah.
with all the people and shit. Yeah. But I remember this old guy just in the middle of the pit, and then this one dude just picked him up and threw him right into our jump kit, you know? And and I was like, holy shit, dude, is that guy dead? And then he just hops up fucking...
like nothing.
Yeah, ready to roll, dude. So I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking like
That
80,
guy's savage.
90, yeah, 90, 100 years old, and you're like, well, my wife's dead, my kids are dead, or are gone, or whatever. I'm about to die. Fuck it, I'm going to a mosh pit concert.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the last nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
But there is pictures though.
That's
Go,
funny.
if you're ever on my Facebook page, check it out.
I don't know why I was thinking about this earlier today, but I was like, I can wait, but like it's gonna be so fun when we're old together and we can just like go pick on people because we're old.
Yeah.
Like be mean and rowdy.
It does give
not
you-
give a fuck, you know?
It could backfire though. I was at they have this fucking supermarket here called HEB.
Yeah.
I call it Heb. I hate it. I fucking hate it. She likes it.
I asked him to go to the grocery
I
store
like how
one
it's
time,
laid
and
out.
then I hear
Dude,
all this. I'm never going again.
I can't handle like the elderly people here. Like
Oh,
the
man, yeah.
younger generation here in Texas is cool,
Chill, yeah.
but the older fucking generation, man. I had my son. I'm holding him in HEB. I'm just looking at the rice. There's a brand called Ling Ling, and they have beef fried rice, right? And I love it. And this place used to carry it, and then I went there and it was all fucking gone. And I'm trying to like find it. I'm like, wait, where the fuck is it? You know? And this old lady's got a fucking. My back is like, I open the door and my back is to her, and she's almost pushing her cart on me,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I fight
And,
with them.
and I'm like looking in the fucking thing, and I'm like looking for my rice, and then I feel this thing, like something on my back, right? And I turn around, and it's this old bitch, and she's mean mugging me, dude. And I'm like,
Well, not
lady,
the old lady.
you know, and I'm just like, hey, that's fucking rude. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole fucking store, dude. Get the fuck off me, you know? And I'm holding my son, and I'm just, you know, I'm an aggressive person looking, you know? Like, go away. But she was old and fucking gangster, and then her husband's, like, fucking mean mugging me, you know?
God damn.
And then, what happened? I can't even remember.
This is the power you want when you're older, right? Get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, you know?
I don't care if I'm rude.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been
Oh.
through shit, son.
He stepped in front of me. He stepped in
Yeah.
front of me.
Oh,
That's what
man.
happened. So then I had my son, and I'm, you know, I feel it, right? And I give her a dirty look, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, fucking old bitch, dude. And then the old guy that was mean mugging me just cuts right in front of me. The door's like right here. There's no room. And he just fucking muscles his little old ass right in front of me, and like is going through shit, right?
Goddamn.
And then
You
I'm like,
poor thing.
and I'm like, son, and I'm like, what do I do? You know, this dude's like fucking 90, and I'm like, you fucking old man. I'm like, all right, they're old or whatever. And I'm like, no, fuck that, right? So then I step back, and then I step in front of him, and I'm like,
Shoves an old man.
and I'm
Oh,
like,
you did
and I just grab the PF Chang's, dude. I'm like, just
You didn't even want the PF chain.
I just did it just so I could fucking
Put
push
it in
him a
another
little bit.
aisle somewhere and dropped it
Yeah,
off.
and no, I kept
my
it, and then
God.
I looked back and I gave her a dirty look, you know, took my PF Chang's, dude,
Your
and
baby
Yeah.
and got
got the
on.
fuck
Fucking
on.
starting this revolution right now.
Oh my
Fuck
gosh.
old people. They're just young people that are rude assholes that turn old.
Yeah.
Fight against them. That's funny.
Yeah.
I love all those videos that like Jackass used to do where they dress
Oh,
like
Oh, they
old
dress
people.
up as old people, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
those are my
God.
favorite.
It's like running people
My
over the
favorite.
apart.
There's this one girl fitness girl I follow. Her name is Meg Squats. She's on YouTube too.
Make squats.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds like a
Megan
porno.
Squats.
This is
That
what
sounds
happens.
like a
This is
porno.
what happens when you watch too much porn. Everything's porn.
Love you, Megan.
Welcome to another
anyways.
episode of Megan Squats.
She does one of those where she dresses like an old lady and does the makeup and everything and goes to the gym.
Oh.
And then she's lifting like crazy amounts of weight and like all these guys are like, what
Holy
the fuck?
shit. Yes. Oh, that's
It's
cool.
really funny.
I like the one where that guy, Jackass, what's his name? Yeah, what's
Johnny
his name?
Knoxville?
Johnny
Knoxville.
Knoxville. How can I forget his name? whatever.
I was thinking Steve-O, but it's not.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, there was like a whole 6 of them, whatever.
Yeah.
But Johnny has the famous one that did the old man, and then where's the movie? I think
Yeah,
actually.
Bad Grandpa. Or
Yeah,
something.
Bad Grandpa, where the
Yeah.
shit's on the wall.
She watched that like 800 times in a row.
Dude, that movie was so funny to me, and I don't know why.
That shit is funny. I was laughing, so I wasn't even done laughing at something when I was already laughing at something. I can't
Just looking
breathe.
at me like,
I bought her the regular version, and then I came back a few days later, and she had bought the extended. Like, what the fuck, dude? Extra 20 minutes.
Funny. I feel like me and her will be those fucking old people that fucking old lady, get the fuck
Most
out of here.
definitely,
Like, fuck you,
yeah.
kid. Like, yeah, that'd be me.
You want to hear a jackass story?
Yes.
Me and my buddies, when we used to, like in the early days when we'd play shows from Reno to California, we'd just pack our cars. And that guy Nick, remember that guy? Him and the duffel bag porn guy, Adam,
Yeah, Adam.
they were in that car together, right? With my drummer Kyle. And then I was in another car with the rest of the guys. And there's a part in California where you're on I-5 and then you have to get off the exit to get on to 80 to go to fucking Reno. And there's an overpass. So we're driving, they're not paying attention, like always, right? And we're like, fucking guys, dude. And we get off onto the exit and then they miss it, right? And the last time that happened, they ended up in like Redwood City or Red Bluff or whatever the fuck it's called, like hella days away, right? And we're like, fuck, man. They just missed it.
Why did they just
Right?
stop?
And I'm like looking, turned back looking. I'm like, motherfuckers, how are we going to get a hold of them? Because none of us had our phones or anything.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, they got up onto the ramp, saw that we had gone the other way, then just turned it.
Oh, shit!
And-
They just flew?
In that, remember I told you had the old Honda that I had to pour the Sprite
the
on?
ball tires.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just went.
You're just like, holy shit!
It flew off the ramp, right? And I'm like, holy fuck.
I ain't missing this exit.
They're gonna die. And then it just came down right in the dirt, and they're like, boom, just bounced a couple times, and then swerved and got back on the highway.
Well,
We're
it
like,
is.
what the
I got full coverage.
fuck?
'Cause I'm gonna use it and file a claim.
It's funny.
Yeah, fuck this car up.
Damn.
Yeah, I hate
crazy.
missing exits. I would do the same thing.
Oh man, yeah, this fucking sucks. Oh.
Yeah, Adam. Someday we'll have him on the show, and he'll tell you his version of
Oh,
it. He
God,
just
yes,
because he said
please.
that he was telling me like I just remember like missing the exit like a couple months before and
Yeah,
driving
like
for
what
hella
was going
days.
through his head?
It's like I just said fuck it,
I'm
man.
invincible. Fly this
He's like,
motherfucker
"Holy
over
shit,
there.
You're gonna die. What the fuck?
He's fucking awesome though.
One downer, two. Oh, we're still on that. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
so
up,
many.
down.
There's so many. Like there was one downer talking about cars now. We almost fucking crashed. We almost fell off the freeway. You know, like
Oh,
there's
shit.
a loop. You know, freeways they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Where
Coming from
like Dallas or
really-
something.
yeah, coming from Dallas. It was
Fuck Dallas traffic and
Fuck the
during like
traffic.
like rush hour.
And
I got my
fuck-
stomach tattooed last night. I just
Oh.
wanted to go home, dude. I sat
Yeah,
in that
it's the worst.
fucking traffic, dude. It reminded me of
It's
like
not
San
half as
Francisco.
bad as San Francisco.
No, last
it's
night
not?
was horrible because they're
Really?
doing a bunch of construction and then all the rain and shit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
fuck
with the
that.
rain, it's horrible.
God dang.
What were you saying? You almost drove right off the fucking
Fucking
freeway.
watch the shit. The thing is, I almost die when I'm not the one driving, and I fucking like
Was it Diego?
Okay, no, this was like years before I
Oh,
met
okay.
Diego. It was like in my fucking going to a club at 3 a.m. is when it
Oh.
opens, and you leave at fucking
Ah.
7, and this was like one of those. There was fucking midgets everywhere. It was like
Midgets?
there was everything there. I mean, it was crazy. Everybody
What
was
kind of
popping.
party was this?
It was all fucking. I don't know. I was like gone, right? And I'm just like, oh, fucking world. And so we leave, and everybody's shit faced except for this one person. He's the designated driver, and he's just sleep deprived. Motherfucker
Oh.
falls asleep,
No.
and we're all shit faced in the back. Like nobody has their seatbelts on.
Yeah.
We're heading home. I don't know where exactly we are at all, and it's raining. It starts raining. All of a sudden, you hear, and I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck! fuck, you know, and then my stomach's just like instant. My body's like wants to protect itself, and all you hear is whoa. So we hit so hard that I fucking jerked to the front, and the seats were so low. They were like so low, the front seats, that my shoulders at least hit the shoulders of the seats and slapped me back.
Oh my god.
And I hanged on as much as I could, and with my drunk ass self, and the guy wakes up, he's like, oh shit, I think we crashed. I'm like, oh, did you fucking, I'm like, you fucking, we're all like, oh shit, like, you know, and then just pass out.
Oh my god.
And I don't know if I passed out because I was drunk or because I actually got hit. Like, I don't remember. That's how much I don't remember.
Could have been too much adrenaline too.
Yeah. Maybe, and I just passed out before I knew it. We were at my friend's house, car so fucked up, like, I don't even know how. All I remember was looking, and that there was like nothing down there. We were at the bridge where you were sideways, and literally if he'd gone just a little harder or someone came behind us, fuck.
That is scary.
Yeah, and then I've never fucking hung out with them again. I was like, fuck you, you know.
I wouldn't either.
You know, it was just horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah,
Adam nobody that.
Wasn't drunk, but did a similar thing to me. Because we were driving again in the fucking Tahoe Mountains, and this is when he had a Bronco. And I remember I was hella tired and I was sleeping, and we were coming around this bend. Like, there's a little place in the Sierra Mountains where they check for, I think, agriculture, whatever the fuck. They don't want you bringing carrots or ferrets.
It's over the Nevada.
Carrots and ferrets.
They don't bring any carrots or ferrets in California, right? But I remember you go around this big bend and then it's a straightaway. But we were like going around the bend, and I was like sleeping, and I just heard like the motor screaming, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, like when you're in a dream, you're like kind of half in, half out, and you're like, what the fuck? And I remember Primus was playing. He was playing Primus, and he was like, fucking. My name is Mud was playing, right?
Yeah.
My name is Mud, or whatever. And like the motor was screaming, and I look over, and Adam is just totally out. I don't know how we made it around the bend, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I remember it was the slowest like wake up. He was like,
what's going on?
He was like, oh shit! You know, fucking foot was just, you know, he had like leaned back and just put his weight on his leg, and we were just like redlining that motherfucker, dude.
He was like, Sean had the craziest dream. And like, what?
It was gnarly, and then I mean, luckily there was no cars around. I've been in 14 accidents as a passenger, as I've said before, but luckily, you know, that wasn't one of them. So.
In my life, I guess just 2 accidents. Now that I have time to think about it, reflect on it. When we were kids, and that one, and that was it. After that, I've always been like, I'm on driving, you know.
Yeah, I had a lot when I was a kid. My mom used to fucking toss back a couple and then play fucking what do you call it, pinball with the fucking park cars and shit. We had a what was it called? It was an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. It was a fucking tank.
Oh shit, yeah,
goddamn fucking tank, dude. And we mauled through a bunch of cars with that fucking thing, dude.
All metal, so I was like,
I remember once I used to have a Mitsubishi Eclipse in '91, and I was like all into cars at one point. I like was sanding it down and fixing the body and stuff. I was gonna have it painted. I was in a weird phase in my life.
Doing some body work and shit.
Yeah, it was a weird phase. And then my dad had a Ford F-250, and he drove my car and really liked it especially because he commuted for work. He's like, hey, I'll trade you my truck for your car. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, sure.
Little tiny Kylie and a big ass fucking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5'1", and I got this giant F-250 that I'm driving to high school.
That's tight, though.
Everybody come with me.
But one day we were going to school, and I had my sister in the car with me, and we're in the left-hand turning lane. It's a light, so it's a protected light, and it's backed up because it's right in front of the school.
Yeah.
And then this Jeep is coming up behind me, and they're coming up really fast. And I'm like looking in the mirror, like they're gonna slow down. They're not slowing down.
Oh my god.
And I'm just sitting there like waiting, and right at the last second, she goes like on the side of the truck, knocks off my mirror, goes right through the red light, makes the left turn, and just keeps on going. And then me, totally stupidly, I'm like, I'm gonna get this bitch.
I
floor it. I floor it through the red light, and I'm like chasing her down the block, and then my sister's like, just pull over. So we pulled over and like waited for the cops to get there, and they eventually caught her. She was like all jacked up on something. But yeah, she like straight clean just ripped the mirror off, and I was like, okay, no school today.
Damn.
Yeah, I've only been in one as a driver, and it was a fucking scam.
Oh.
I was at a band practice in Fremont, California. It was like midnight, and I had just got my Dodge truck from my uncle gave me a deal on it, right? But I had like no money, but I had like a nice truck. And then it was starting to rain, and I remember getting onto the highway, and there was nobody on the fucking highway, and there was this little Ford Bronco, and it had like an old half steel bumper and shit on the back, and I'd seen it before because the lady, it was a Mexican lady who worked across the street at this cafe, right? I'd seen it a bunch of times, and I was going down the exit, and all of a sudden her car stops, but there's no brake lights. Right, and it's raining, so I was like, shit. So I slammed on mine, and then I slid just a little bit, right, and then I just bumped her a little bit, right? Just tapped it a little bit, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because it's like midnight. There's nobody on the highway. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And this is right on the on ramp, right?
Yeah.
And then I get out, and I'm like, what the fuck? But luckily, I had just been to band practice, so I had a camera because we were taking pictures and shit, right? And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I go walk over to the thing, and I knock on the window, and I'm like, what the fuck, lady? And she rolls the window down. She's like, oh, my neck's injured.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, why the fuck did you stop? What are you doing? And where's your brake lights? She was like, there was a coyote. And I was like, there's no fucking coyote. There's no fucking coyote, dude. And then she's like, you got insurance, right? I'm like, look. And then I was like 22 at the time. I was like, I'm 22. I have no money. She's like, but you have insurance, right? I'm like, yeah, I have insurance. And then I go in and then I knew something was fucking weird, so I grabbed my camera, I started taking pictures. Because mine just had a little dent, and hers literally had like a small little indentation.
Oh my god.
And then she's like, hey, no taking pictures and shit. I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck
Take
you.
all the pictures you can.
You know, I'm taking pictures until this camera dies. And then I give her my information, I get back in my truck, I head home. I lived in Pleasanton at the time, which is like about a 15-20 minute drive from Fremont. And by the time I got to my apartment, I walk up the stairs, and there's already a cop in a uniform waiting at my apartment. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, what's cracking, dude? And he's like, were you involved in an accident tonight? And I'm like, oh, a minor fender bender, but I gave her my insurance. I took pictures. I did everything I'm supposed to fucking do, dude. It's too late to call the insurance company. I'll call them first thing in the morning. Yeah. And then he was like, look, man, she immediately went to the Fremont Police Department, filed injury claim, filed God. Like all this kind of shit, said you were like aggressive, like all this kind of stuff, right? And he's like, and it's not the first time this lady's done it.
Yeah, she wants to win some money.
Yeah, so he's like, this is what I want you to do, man. He's like, I'm out here as a courtesy. He's like, I want you to sit down tonight before you go to bed, write out everything that happened. He's like, print those fucking pictures out, put it all in a folder, because I guarantee you a year to the day she's gonna sue you. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, why a year? He's like, that's the last time, that's the time period that she has to sue you, and she's gonna wait until she thinks you don't have all that stuff. And I was like, oh, crafty, dude. And so I put it away, and then I had switched insurance companies and shit, and then lo and behold, I got a summons at fucking work, dude. And she sued me for $500,000 in personal injuries. And so I called my old insurance company, and I was like, they're like, well, there's nothing we could do. We already settled the thing. And I'm like, no, I'll sue you for everything she's suing me, everything my fucking lawyer cost. Yeah. And then they're like, okay. And then they fucking called her back, and they ended up giving her another $5,000, and then put a new bumper on her car.
God damn it.
Disgusting.
Yeah. There's people that literally live like that, because I worked as a legal assistant for a personal injury firm. Fuck, I hated all those cases, man. I hated all those cases.
How often would you say you got stuff like that?
Man, it was more than half of the cases of these people is that. And the attorneys know it, that you're bullshitting when they're on their side. Yeah. And the insurance people know that they're bullshitting, but either way, they have to make the problem go away, Yeah. Like, either one's going to win or lose. There's one side's always going to end up losing. And the attorneys, they cash out too from those claims. So I was like, fuck this job. I hate this
It's
job.
fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. I don't know
There's
how
like-
you could live with yourself
There was
doing
a
that.
small percentage of people that were real cases. Small
Yeah.
percentage. And those took forever to get. But anyway.
All right, as we got a sponsor.
Yes, we do. Get a little sheet here. This episode is brought to you by Dark and Dreary Clothing Ad. Oh, sorry, I read the whole thing.
Boom. Try
We're
again.
gonna try again.
Take two.
I'm gonna take off the
And
ad.
go.
I need a shot of something. This episode is brought to you by Dark and Dreary Clothing. Dark and Dreary is an edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Dreary has quickly gained a following amongst fans of occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide, without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest, darkanddrearyclothing.com.
Yeah. And then also check us out at necroelectric.com.
Yes.
We partnered with Dark and Dreary, and we got all kinds of merch. I'm not wearing any.
You're not
actually.
wearing it?
Normally I'm wearing
got my
this
mod
shit.
ministry sweater
I got a
on.
Dark and Dreary hat on.
Yeah.
All right. Also, subscribe to our fucking YouTube.
Please
People have been.
Subscribe.
We get a couple hundred people watching, but we don't. Nobody fucking subscribes.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Comment.
Like.
Tell us your stories.
Yeah.
We want to interact. And also, I keep burping because I keep drinking this shit.
You're down to that.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. We also have a clips channel. If you guys have seen, where we give you guys little previews of shit. We're gonna do a new little segment called "Yeah Yeah" or "Yeah Nah," right? And we shot a couple like practice versions of it, but I gotta change some decor. And but we're gonna give you a little preview right now. So basically, what we're gonna do is scour Craigslist in the rants and raves section, and we'll just randomly pull some shit. We're gonna read it, and we'll give you guys our opinions, and we want your guys' opinions.
Yeah.
You know, is it gonna be yeah, I agree with it, or yeah, nah, fuck that, right? So this one's from Los Angeles, California. The title was "Movie Theater Issues," and the guy wrote, and this is all real. You guys can go on Craigslist and fucking look this shit up. Sometimes at the end of a preview, I will say lame or boring if the movie looks like a dog. Maybe I'll blow a hand fart, but I think it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm assuming.
I thought you were like putting your hand on your butt or something.
I think that's something totally different.
Oh shit.
I think it's a buttercup.
All this sexy, crazy shit.
Alright,
Come
keep
on
going,
now.
Alright. Okay, so he's maybe I'll blow a hand fart, but it's just a preview. Once I had to turn around and tell a lady to tell her clueless spawn to please stop kicking the back of my seat. She shrugged and said, "Oh, kids just do stuff like that." When it didn't stop, I moved to the row behind her and started kicking the back of her seat like a goddamn mule on crack. Then I said, "Annoying as fuck, isn't it?" Then they got up and moved.
Oh,
Laughed out loud.
shit.
Do you guys
How old is this person?
Motherfucker's probably 40 years old and
blowing
like,
hand farts at 40?
Oh my
in
God.
movie theaters?
I don't know. I mean, you know, he had a pretty good. He has to be older than 20 for sure.
I would
How do
say
you describe
yeah,
shit?
yeah, because I fucking hate going to movies, and when people don't control their kids or they just ruin your fucking experience.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like, just go home and watch a fucking movie, dude.
True that.
What about you guys?
I'm half and half on it.
You're half and half.
Because if the motherfucker were to turn around and talk to me like that about my fucking kid, first of all, I would have like, calm your ass down, little boy. I'm gonna get you, you know, or something like that. If he didn't listen to me and
Did you tell him,
continue,
I'm gonna get you?
I don't know. I don't have a kid. I'm gonna get you. You gotta, you know.
Remember my duck story?
I feel like what? I can kill your duck too.
Don't bring the duck into the.
It's just gonna make me cry. Now I can't go on a rant. I'm all sensitive. I don't know what I was gonna say. Go ahead, Kylie.
I don't know. I wouldn't. Well, first of all, I wouldn't just be like, "Oh, kids are gonna be kids." I'd actually like tell my kid that's not the right thing to do. But obviously, this guy is also kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
'cause-
address the motherfucker.
Okay, first of all, it's a kid, and you're calling it your spawn, and you're at the movies alone for a reason because you don't have kids. You obviously don't have a girlfriend either. So.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to you, but yeah, that's a bit like, okay, sorry, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Billy boy, whatever.
Yeah, Billy.
I have no children, people. I don't know how to act with that part of life yet.
Little DJ.
Little DJ. Moving on.
Alright, so that's a little preview of fucking yeah, or yeah, nah.
Wait, we didn't give our yeah or yeah nods. So you're a
Oh, I'm a yeah,
She's in
nah.
between.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah. I'm a yeah. Fuck that.
I guess I'm more yeah, nah.
If you can't control your kid, then yeah, I'm gonna get annoying. If you annoy me, I'm gonna annoy you. So,
True that.
especially if I paid like fucking however much. It costs like $40 to get popcorn and
Fuck yeah.
go through all the fucking hassle.
Oh my god, especially if it's like a fucking IMAX.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
bitch, you better
yeah,
calm
those are
down.
crazy.
Nobody fuck with me. Like, this shit's expensive, and I'm in here to
Yeah.
like fucking watch this movie.
Yeah. And I'm a parent too, and like I know my son at his age right now would not sit through a movie
Nope.
and
Yeah,
would
so-
totally make everybody else's experience shitty. So
Yeah.
what do?
Don't
I,
take him.
I get a babysitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if I'm paying for a babysitter, you know, I'm obviously gonna get a bottle of wine for me and the wifey, and we're gonna do all kinds of crazy shit.
And there, yeah, and there's
I don't
other
want somebody
places.
fucking up my experience.
There's like other places you could take the kids if you really don't have like a babysitter, but you know, like the drive-in. There's a drive-in in Fort Worth.
Yeah, those
They
are
can
fun.
yell and
I used
jump
to
up
go to
and
the
down.
drive-ins all the time when I was little.
Yeah, that's I love it.
That's
That's actually
fun.
where I saw Children of the Corn. It was very
Oh, really?
traumatizing. Yeah. At the fucking drive-in in Westlake, Texas. I was like, oh shit.
You know,
Horrible.
a story I totally
Jack.
forgot about. Remember Shipwreck Kelly
Yeah.
and Cabby? Oh, I took those fucking hillbillies to Disneyland. Like me and like a ton of people went to Disneyland, and there was this Mexican family right behind us in line for the trolley, or the little thing that takes you into the park.
Yeah.
And the dad was like kind of wrestling with the kid, right? And he kept bumping Kelly. Kelly's like a big dude.
Aw.
And Kelly kept getting bumped. And I remember he had this stupid purple hat he used to wear, and his hat came off.
Oh.
And then he got all fucking mad, right? And he's like, "Hey man, back the fuck off!" Right?
Oh my god! To
Like,
the kids?
Super, no, to the dad. But super aggressive,
But
like
still,
way
yeah.
way more aggressive than like the situation called for.
Yeah.
It could have just been a hey man, can you not bump me?
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
needed to be said, right? But Kelly turned around, fucking,
Oh
hey,
god!
can you fucking back off, bitch, or whatever he said, right? And everybody like around us like was like, what?
Oh,
It's like we're in Disneyland.
It's all families, right? And we're all tattooed and fucking like dangerous looking anyways to all these people that are just
Yeah.
soccer moms. And then I remember the Mexican dad guy just like picked his son up and like just stared
Te voy a
daggers.
matar.
And then the wife was staring daggers, and then she started fucking pinche puta, like just talking some shit,
Yeah, talking shit.
Chinga tu madre,
Yeah.
fucking pinche fucking güero or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she started talking shit in Spanish, right? And then, and Gabby and Kelly can't speak Spanish, right? But I remember Gabby just came around Kelly. She's like, "This is California, and we can all speak Spanish."
But can you?
Right? And then they were like, didn't know like if it was a bluff or not. So they didn't say anything.
Oh my god.
And then we had to sit there for 10 minutes after that and wait for the stupid fucking thing to show up.
Awkward.
Super awkward. But that was an up. That was fun.
That is funny.
That was enough, but I was down for that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate that shit when people would be talking shit, like clearly talking shit about you in your fucking face in another language, or thinking you don't
Yeah.
understand it.
They have you seen those new headphones?
Oh, yeah, they
the
translate.
Google ones.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they have this. The new Google headphones will real time translate.
Cool. That's cool.
So,
Kind of crazy.
That's cool. That-
so
I
nail
don't
salons
know
watch
about
the
that.
fuck
Yeah,
out.
right?
Yeah, I knew
Oh, I
some
always
Vietnamese.
wonder. I always wonder.
No, I know they talk shit about me. During that time, I was dating this guy that was actually Vietnamese, and I was learning Vietnamese. So I knew a little bit of Vietnamese. Now,
Really?
now to save myself, I don't remember shit. But come on, which is thank you. Which I'm probably saying it really wrong. But I learned a little bit. So I went to get my nails done, right? And I know I walked in like 30 till, which is probably a bitch ass move. But I don't give a fuck. You're still open, and I need to get my shit done back then when I get my nails done. And she straight up said, "Oh my god, no, she walked in and she knows blah blah blah, and you're gonna take care of her. I don't want to take care of her." And I basically said, "I understood what you said." And I said, either you're gonna help me or she's gonna help me. And she was like, oh. She just looked at me like, oh my god, you little Mexican girl, you know something?
Oh my god.
And I was like, yeah, and that's all I understand, because I would hear that guy's mom talk all the time, and I,
pick up on it.
Yeah, pick up on it. And then I was like, fuck, I fucking hate this.
Those nail salons are fucked up, man. I used to drop her off. Well, I still do, but I remember that one in Livermore I used to drop you off at. You walk in and the smell of that fucking nail.
They're not all like that, but that one was especially bad.
Hits you so bad. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be high as shit.
Bad.
Like,
they wear the mask, but they don't give you one.
Yeah. I passed out. I passed out there.
No way. Oh,
yeah, you did.
I did. I'm in the middle of getting my nails done. I was also extremely hungover. Which did not help.
Yeah, this was around the corner from the tattoo shop I was at. Yeah, and I remember somebody ran in and they're like, "Hey, your girlfriend's like fucking blacked out." I'm like,
"Don't sue me," kind of shit. Get her out of here.
Yeah, dude.
I was so hungover, and I think it was just all the fumes and everything was like.
Yeah.
I just passed out.
I hope you threw up in the fucking pedicure chair.
Oh no.
You guys need to do something about this. That'd be great.
We got another sponsor.
Yes, we do. This episode is also brought to you by Mod Ministry. Mod Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie. 5-star rated seller since 2014.
Woo! If you guys, for the guys out there, if you want a boner, just go on the website and buy your women some stuff.
Free PG. Oh gosh.
All right, we got life in the comment section.
Yes.
Which go in the comment section and leave more comments.
Leave us comments, people.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
We wanna read your shit
Please.
and interact.
So our first one today is from YouTube, from Pamphleteer. I really enjoy Necro Electric. I've watched every episode at least once. You guys need a few more guests on. I agree. We actually have some plans for our next guest. We will be having Carlos Maldonado, who is my tattoo artist. He's in Dallas at Skin Art Gallery.
And
Look it up.
He's tattooed me a bunch of times.
He tattooed Sean also. But yeah, he's done pretty much almost my whole right leg.
Cool.
So,
Sweet.
Yeah, he'll be on in 2 weeks.
Yep. And then sometime in June, my tattoo artist, Chris Clement. Just gonna pop in, and he's got some wild stories. And I'm going to LA, so hopefully I'm gonna try to wrangle a couple of these fucking little comedian stars when they pass through Texas to swing on through here.
Sweet. And we got another one from Tumblr, from Painkiller. I want to lick ketchup off of Kylie's legs. Oh, ketchup.
First of all, I hate ketchup. I cannot even stand the smell of it. It makes me want to barf.
Food porn.
So if you did that, I'd probably just puke all over you, and then we'll see what you want to do.
I don't think you'd get the painkiller. You're gonna feel a lot of pain coming from Sean. Yeah. Nobody's licking nothing.
The white ketchup. Why not like whipped cream or something?
Ketchup.
He probably eats a lot of fast food.
I do have thick thighs, so maybe it's like.
Just don't lick your knee.
Oh god, yeah, I cannot. Don't touch my knees.
No, lick
my
her
knees
knee.
are like my weak spot.
I'm gonna get kicked in the chest, bitch.
And puked on.
Oh god, that's funny.
Well, this is a wild one. You guys got any plugs or any shit you want to throw out there?
I do have a shout out. A lot of my cousins are messaging me on Instagram, and I just want to say thank you for supporting the podcast, you guys, for following it.
Shout out to the cousins.
Yes, for recommending it. But do comment and subscribe. Check out our Patreon. You know, that would really help move things forward. You know, love you guys.
Yes.
Yep. I'm working on that record and going to LA and doing some guesting on some podcasts. Hopefully that'll bring some more people on over to our little side of the interwebs here.
Yeah. Also, Mod Ministry is coming up on a 5-year birthday.
Yeah.
So I
When?
will be having a good sale in end of May.
Sweet.
Nice.
Keep an eye out.
Perfect time for summer.
And pop into our website, watch all of our episodes for free. Like Susana was saying, hit us up on Patreon. We got all kinds of behind the scenes shit. You can watch me eat shit in a skateboarding contest with Diego.
It's worth it.
Tour of our warehouse. We do all kinds of weird and fun things on there. So until next time, later.